2012.
Well, it's different. I will have to say that. And, I've always thought that the advantage the SEC had, and maybe call it 90s football or 80s football or NFL style football, that the southeastern part of the United States produces a lot of big defensive linemen. And they could control that line of scrimmage. And, outside of Ohio State in those few years, and, Michigan when they had their run with those defensive linemen, if you're playing, let's call it, Bo and Woody style, a little bit more than that, but NFL style football, it was tough to beat the Southeastern Conference's players up front. It was just tough to block. But now with the advancement of football, the spread, jet motions, the hurry-ups, and the big rule change, one more, they're allowing the receivers to pick more than they ever did before. You're not allowed, hitting receivers over the middle of the field. That used to be safeties would clean the middle of the field up just because if you completed it, you would pay the price. But now the field is open to all the throws. But the last one, the RPOs, allowing the offensive linemen to really block linebackers in college football 3 yards downfield and throw behind them, has really changed the game. In 2014, even Alabama and Nick Saban, who didn't want to go there, said, the rule is just so strong and it's so hard for me to stop that I'm going to do it too, and everything has changed. Now this conference with all these great defensive linemen, they can't stop each other either, and you're right, it does look like everyone else in college football, and that's an advantage to everyone else. If you neutralize the great NFL defensive linemen, that gives everyone else a better chance of beating SEC football teams.
Well, when you do that, and it's also the fact that there are great offensive minds in the SEC. And I've got a question for you about Mike Leach. We saw what they did in week 1 against LSU. Stumbled a little bit last week, and then only were able to manage a safety against Kentucky last weekend. What do we know about KJ Costello and this Mike Leach experiment at Mississippi State?
That's a great question, Tyler. I thought, and I did a couple interviews after the first game, I thought Mike just went a little bit too overboard, reacting to that game, get on the bandwagon at Mississippi State. Everybody was proclaiming that they had cracked the code down here, and I go, just, hey, relax. This is a tough league. It's tough to go on the road. There's a lot of good players, as you witnessed through the draft. A third of the first round of the draft always goes through the SEC in the last, 6, 7, 8 years. So it's not as easy as you thought. You caught an LSU defense that was totally wiped out, and basically their team was wiped out. They only returned 5 players from last year's team, and then Derek Stingley, the third, junior, or whatever one he was called, and I played with Derek's grandfather at Purdue. He loses him, so it was a little bit too fast, but to throw 70 passes
right,
and score no points I have to think, because I grew up, and actually did Lions games with Bo as the 3 men in the booth. I just was thinking, if Bo's watching that, he's up there having a year and go, I told you.
His offense doesn't work against his zone, I was reading. Gary Danielson joins us. You got Georgia, Alabama on Saturday. You saw Georgia up close this past Saturday. They looked awful in the first half. Their defense was great in the second half. And every year, except for the 2 where Fromm played back-to-back, it doesn't make a difference what quarterback comes in. They seem to be able to excel.
Yeah, I still wonder about that, Tosconi. That's going to be the big question. Georgia is so supremely talented that Tennessee didn't have enough players. And as long as the game went on, the Georgia defense just started to make it tougher and tougher. And Stetson Bennett, the walk-on quarterback. Now, walk-on at full. So,
right.
Stetson's gone to a lot of places and played college ball at a level quite below. But he's, Georgia bred, invited walk-on, and he wanted, much, not exactly the same connection, but, Brian Griese walked on at Michigan, now, and Brian eventually ended up playing as a senior. So similar to that, but, it's still, to me, Stetson's going to have to improve. They were, defensively, they're national championship caliber. Offensively, I still think they have a ways to go. And in the modern game, when Georgia's trying to measure themselves, and being a Michigan fan or being around the Michigan program all those years, I use the word yeah, but every time Michigan would play a game and they'd win, everybody would say, but is it good enough to beat Ohio State? And that's where Georgia is right now. Is but we dominated these guys, but is it good enough to beat? And here's how they're measured: is it good enough to beat Clemson, Alabama, last year LSU, Ohio State? The top, the cream of the crop. Modern day football, you have to score, and Georgia's still going to have to prove to me that they're good enough to score points, because in college football, you cannot expect to shut down everybody every week.
So if that's the premise, did Ole Miss show or find weakness in an Alabama team that Georgia can look at and say, you know what, let's do that?
I don't know if they found it. Everybody knew that, you go wide open, you go tempo, you have a good quarterback, they got a fast running back, they got an NFL receiver, the modern blocking assignments for this spread free-up offense. Sometimes, John, you would believe if you watch it, there'd be plays where 3 of the 5 offensive linemen have flat out missed their blocks, and the quarterback is throwing the ball down the field for a 9-yard gain. Or the jet sweep is going around the end, and they don't even block the end man on the line of scrimmage. So it's just a different game. It exposed Alabama a little bit, but I've seen it before. I've done it in this game where Alabama went in there and they scored 45 points. But I gotta admit, watching this game, if I was announcing the game, it was almost like announcing home run dirt. Oh, got that one. That was far. Let's see if we can hit another. Back and forth, just a tackle was a highlight in that football.
Gary Danielson joins us here on the Estonian Jansen Show. Florida looks like they were pretty good, and then they lose to Texas A&M. And then after the game, Dan Mullen kind of sounded like, well, they had more fans than they were supposed to, so we need to go against Ron DeSantis' orders and pack, or go with them and pack the swamp with the hell with the school. Does he sound sour grapes here or what?
Dan's kind of there's no doubt about it. I've interviewed him a number of times. I like the edge. It doesn't bother me. It's not a question you can ask Dan that he doesn't have a face of expression and have an edge right back to you. He's just that way, and it's good. The Patriots needed that. They were very finessing the last few years and didn't have that gator edge to them. So, some of the good parts of Dan is he's a brilliant play caller, much like Lane Kiffin. But when things don't go well, Dan's personality, his edge comes across. It doesn't bother me. It really doesn't. It's in the heat of the locker room. I've done that. I'm sure, John has done that. No one likes doing those interviews 15 minutes after a tough loss. Sometimes your emotions overtake them. Let's just get on with the next game. You got any ideas how to move the ball? And Dan does. You're right. He's got a really, really good offense. Kyle Trask will be an NFL quarterback. I mean, he's going to be a superstar. We'll have to see that. But you're right. All these defenses around the league, you get susceptible. I mean, you're on the road at Kellen Mond and Jimbo Fisher at Texas A&M. They can score points. You get behind. You don't hold serve. Once, twice. You can lose a game, and it gets frustrating. It's just the way modern football is.
Well, and Gary, I want to ask you one more about the SEC, because Alabama is still Alabama. And then you look and you say, okay, well, Georgia's right there, Florida's right there, but it's your usual suspects. But what we're seeing is, obviously, Arkansas took Auburn right to the wire.
Right.
And with Sam Pittman as their new coach, it has the floor.
They got hosed, by the way.
They got hosed big time.
Yeah.
But the ceiling is still where it's been traditionally. But has the floor in the SEC been raised?
I think, John, the style of football allows a less NFL-ish football player to have more of an impact on the game than it did even 5 years ago. I tell this story all the time. When I was in Cleveland, we had a player who was a local product of Brother Rice, Brian Brennan, was one of our receivers. And we had 2 of the best corners in all of football, and Hanford Dixon and Frank Minifield. And Brian would beat them like a drum in practice, and Brian was quick and fast, and you get the feeling feeling after a while is, a average wide receiver can beat a great defensive player, and that's really where the game is now. The bottom have moved up, and they can upset people, but I don't know if the bottom can go on a run, though. I mean, it's going to be very difficult for them to move up to the next level and win championships, but there's no doubt that they can play a special game like, these teams have and win games. I just don't know if you could string 9 of those together in this 10-game conference, and that's where Georgia and Alabama in the long run are going to be tough to beat, just like in the Big Ten days. I played against them, against Michigan, when I played against Ohio State. We were good, but we had to play a perfect game to beat the big boys. They just had more better players than we.
Final thing, I always have to ask you about your other former team, the Lions. It just seems like it's the same old, same old. We're talking about maybe Jerry should try to go after Stafford or whatever. You watch them play, or at least DVR the games on Sundays.
I watch every game. I love watching the Lions play. I had fun watching the Browns play.
What do you think they should do? Is it just time to get rid of the whole caboodle?
You like move the franchise?
No, never. No, I mean Quinn, Patricia, even Stafford. It's time, isn't it?
I don't know about that. I really don't. I think it's a tough league. As much heart and soul as Jerry Jones has thrown into the Dallas Cowboys, they haven't been able to find it. I'm not giving anybody excuses, but it is a tough league. And there's nobody I respect more than Matthew Stafford. He never throws his teammates under the bus. He shows up. He plays hurt. He's a much better quarterback than I ever was. And, boy, when you can't put together the right formula with a guy like that, you have to wonder about, what's going on. So it's frustrating. I wish they could put it together every week. Christy and I sit down on the couch and we hope they play well. And I don't know why, when I played, emotionally, I wasn't into it as much. I was more X and O and surgically. I had to know the tendencies and the plays and everything, and I was less emotional. When you watch it as a fan, I don't like that.
Right.
I agree.
Now you know what we go through, and oh my God.
John, is that the same for you? I mean, when I played, it was just, I was concentrating so much, I never got caught up in it, but as a fan, it's a whole different feel.
Well, I always felt like there was something I could do about it.
Right.
Whether it was watching more film or even if it was in the middle of a game, if I just did something different, I'd have an impact. Whereas now I'm watching it and I'm like, well, do I turn my hat backwards? Do I mute the TV? There's nothing I can do.
One of the favorite things that, before a big game when I was with the Lions, I used to always get, everybody would be saying something in the locker room, and I always come up with my crazy quip, and I would go, okay, we got to play well today. We play the Chargers because they got damn fouls and we don't. And that was kind of fire up.
That's a great one. Gary, thanks a lot as always. Hopefully we'll talk to you down near the end of the season before the SEC title game or something.
You got it. Thanks, guys.
All right, Gary Danielson of CBS Sports joining us on Stoney and Jansen Show. Now, I want to tell you about Capital Mortgage Funding. Harry Glanz, Dan Burke, they're big Lion fans. I see they can't do anything about it either. But what they can do is help you save money on a mortgage and help you with the best product around, and more importantly, the best customer service around. Here's the deal. You've heard people talk about 5-star reviews. They laugh at that. They scoff. They had like 8,000 star reviews. I mean, not 8,000 5-star reviews. I mean, 150,000, 8,000 star reviews. More stars than the constellations. It's incredible. This is customer service. They work for a living. They do it the right way. Call them today, 1-800-LOW-RATE. Capital Mortgage Funding, the best mortgage bank.
Capital Mortgage Funding is powered by Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation. NMLS ID number 2289, Equal Housing Lender.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, brought to you by DuckDuckGo Privacy. Drivers are in great shape this morning. No accidents or any big tie-ups anywhere around Metro Detroit on this Monday morning. You are moving along well. But west of Ann Arbor, eastbound 94 after Calmback, all lanes are blocked there due to a vehicle fire. There's a multi-mile backup eastbound 94 after Calmback, west of Ann Arbor. This is Catherine Leslie with traffic.
A station where your opinion matters.
I feel like I'm being haunted by a pair of headphones. Everywhere I go is a creepy ad for headphones I looked at one time. I hate feeling like I'm being watched. I downloaded DuckDuckGo and saw a difference right away. Take back your privacy with DuckDuckGo.
This Radio.com Sports Minute is brought to you by Jeff Lover and Associates, a household name.
In half a mile, turn left onto
This is Boomer Esiason with the Radio.com Sports Minute. The biggest winner yesterday was Washington's Alex Smith, who made his first appearance under center in almost 2 years. After 17 surgeries and nearly losing his life to a post-operative infection, it certainly was great to see Smith back on the field. Las Vegas scored the biggest team victory of the day, matching Kansas City's vaunted offensive speed. The Raiders outgained the Chiefs and, of course, outscored them, handing Patrick Mahomes and company their first defeat since last November. Houston made 73-year-old Romeo Crennel the oldest coach to notch a win in NFL history, while Cleveland shredded Indy's top-ranked defense through the air and Phillip Rivers looks his age. The Browns are now 4-1 for the first time since 1994, when their coach was Bill Belichick. And Pittsburgh, of course, they're 4-0, and boy, do they look for real. I'm Boomer Esiason.
We have all heard of Casper, you know, the sleep company with the outrageously comfortable products and not so outrageous prices. From award-winning mattresses to pillows, sheets, and duvets, Casper transforms the way we sleep one snooze at a time. Every Casper mattress is designed with a system to react and adapt to your body all night long. Inside, precisely 1,501 perforations create a cooling system so effective you won't be awake to notice. Only Casper mattresses are made with 86 supportive gel pods to align your spine and eliminate aches and pains. Altogether, it's the cooling, supportive comfort that you need for the most refreshed feeling come morning time. From bedding, bed frames, even a dog bed, Casper has everything you need to build the bed of your dreams. And now with 0% APR financing options, it is even easier to try a Casper mattress. Now for a limited time, head to Casper.com to get 15% off mattresses and 10% off everything else on the site. Terms and conditions do apply. See Casper.com/terms.
Joe Biden. To fix the economy, we have to get control over the virus. I'm releasing a plan to save lives in the months ahead. We need to increase federal support for testing, doubling the number of drive-through testing sites. We absolutely need a clear message from the very top of our federal government that everyone needs to wear a mask in public. Every single frontline worker should have the personal protective equipment that they need to be safe. We need to support schools and child care programs so parents, if and when they can return to work, are confident that their children will be safe and cared for. And finally, we need to protect the population's most at risk, our seniors, vulnerable populations with pre-existing conditions. We need real plans, real guidelines, with uniform, nationwide standards. It's a simple proposition, folks. We're all in this together. We gotta fight this together. We'll emerge from this stronger because we did it together. I'm Joe Biden, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Biden for president.
What if I told you you could sell your home for top dollar and not pay a single dime in commissions? Introducing UPraise Offers, the new app coming to your smartphone. With UPraise Offers, it's as simple as you point, you click, you praise. Simply enter the address of your home. Tell us about your home improvements, snap a few photos, and within 24 hours, you'll have a cash offer from a ready, willing, and able buyer that can close in just 2 weeks. UPraise Offers. That's UPRAZE. Find it now on your app store today.
This is Lila Lazarus. When an emergency happens, don't wait till it's too late to get the care you need. St. Joe's emergency rooms are safe and open, with stringent measures to make sure you get the care you need in a safe environment. Don't delay care. Visit the ER when needed.
When big things happen in Detroit sports, you hear it first on Detroit's #1 sports station, 97.1 The Ticket, powered by Radio.com Sports and brought to you by Indeed. Find the high-impact hire your business needs at Indeed.com/high-impact. The only way you can take 97.1 The Ticket with you is the Radio.com app. Download it today and listen to us anytime, anywhere. Live from the Jamie Samuelson studio, here's Stoney and Jansen.
Steve Eisenman will join us at 8:35. All right, last night the Lakers won the NBA championship. As everybody expected, I was a little disappointed the game was a blowout. It was up to 30 points like in the second quarter. They ended up only winning by 13. Very reminiscent of Pistons Game 5 win over the Lakers in 04, where they were up like 28-29 and ended up being a closer score, but the game was never in doubt. LeBron wins the MVP again, the Finals MVP. And obviously, you know, now that he has 4 titles,
Yep.
3 different teams, so he is 4-6 in the Finals. He is still going strong. It doesn't seem like he's being slowed down at his age. All right, he's 35 years old. He'll be 36 coming up at the end of December. Same birthday as Tiger Woods, by the way.
In 6.2 miles, take exit 14C
And,
onto M39 and Southfield
the whole
Freeway.
Jordan and LeBron debate, which will go on forever until there's a next one.
Right.
More and more, I don't know, to sit there and say who's a better player, to me, that's not even the debate. I just think as a career, okay? And I'm an older guy, so I always put Wilt because as the best player, but he didn't win enough championships. For a career, I think LeBron had a better career because it's still going on. And granted, he lost 6 times in the finals, okay?
Yeah.
But he also got there 10 times. Jordan got there 6 times. He was undefeated, like Montana has been in the Super Bowl, 4-0. That's the Tom Brady. Now Brady has a winning record in the Super Bowl, and LeBron doesn't. But when you look at it, if you're going to play the statistical game, they're very similar as far as shooting percentages and things like that. They're different eras, okay? LeBron, because of his physicality, if you transplant him into those years, I mean, you think, oh my God, Lambeer and Mahorn, they're so much bigger than those guys now. Like, you know, wider and physical. He can do whatever he wants. Jordan in today's game probably would be beefed up a little bit too. I just think when you look at everything and how long he's done it for, and I'm not a huge LeBron fan personally. The fact he said
Stay in the left
he
3
got some
lanes.
respect last night. Gee, the worst thing anybody could say for you is that you're the second best player of all time.
Yes.
You're really not getting enough respect. You're not Rodney Dangerfield. I think career-wise, LeBron's had a better, more complete career.
Even though he hasn't won as many championships?
Yeah, because he's done
signing free agent center 23-year-old Lonnie Nemestikov. Buffalo signing all-star left wing Taylor Hall, the 2018 Hart Trophy winner. University of Michigan up to number 19 in the AP college football poll. Clemson stays number 1, Alabama 2. Rafael Nadal wins the French Open, and Martin Laird, the PGA Tour winner at Las Vegas. At the ticket update desk, I'm Jeff Lesson. For more, 97.1 The Ticket or radio.com.
Live from the Jamie Samuelson Studio, Stoney and Jansen on 97.1 The Ticket.
Thank you, Jeff Lesson. The telephone number 248-539-9797. There's also the ticket text. Steve Eisenman will join us at 8:35. Talk a little LeBron v. Jordan. You know, that's the a lot of people have been talking about that. Yeah, and I don't really want to say who's the best player because I think it's different than our discussion. Who's had the most complete career, the better career? And I kind of think it's LeBron. And the reason is, I don't think it makes a difference. I kind of do. But he's done it with different teams, different situations. I mean, yeah, okay, he had Kyrie and Kevin Love in Cleveland, but they were hurt in some of those years. Okay, Kyrie hit the winning shot, the one they won. He was aided by Draymond not playing in Game 5. I get all that, all right? But he's just the fact, he doesn't seem to be slowing down. He's 35 years old. And you can sit there and say, yeah, he's had all these great teammates. I mean,
Jordan did too.
Yes, Jordan. I mean, I'm not a huge Pippen guy, but there are people that, Pippen was voted one of the top 50 players of all time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Anthony Davis, when they do the top 75 or whatever, will be there as well. But it was, for this one, it was just Anthony Davis. I'm sorry, although they played well at times, Rondo, KCP, Kuzma, Caruso, I mean, come on. That was not exactly an all-star crew either.
No, it's not. And again, we're splitting hairs between 1 and 2 of all time. I just think that Jordan, when he's looking at and wearing 6 NBA championship rings to LeBron's 4 right now, when you talk about a complete NBA career, it's still about championships. It's still about bringing home the gold. And I know he's been there 10 times, LeBron has, and that's amazing in and of itself. But it's about winning the big one. And right now, Jordan still has him in that. And I don't care about the percentages of Jordan was 6 for 6, or LeBron is 4 of 10 right now. He's lost 6. I don't care about that. It's about winning championships.
I get all that. I understand it. It's not, it's not disrespecting
either one of them. I agree. Yeah, it's not about respect. And the only thing that just, and maybe I'm just a little bit shaded because I didn't like the decision. I didn't like last night's comment about maybe I'll finally get some respect.
Right. Forget
a lot of those things drive me crazy, and it may be part of why I don't think I'll ever put him above Jordan for greatest career or greatest of all time.
Right. I want to correct myself that when Jordan played for the Wizards, he was 38 and 39, so that is a little different. I'll give him that. Mm-hmm. Ticket text. The only thing that championship proves is LeBron and Matt Millen have something in common: 3 championships from 3 different teams. Come on! LeBron James is the 17th best player in NBA history, somebody says. My problem with LeBron is this. SB Nation yesterday posted an article with the title, LeBron handpicked his team and won a championship. He stables his teams and cannot do anything on his own. Okay. On his own. You're right. When he played for the Cleveland Cavaliers, when he first came into the league, when they were a horrible team,
he was alone.
He was alone. Okay? And when he got to the NBA Finals on his own.
Right.
Okay? When he came into our house here at the Palace, the Game 5, and scored 48 points or whatever the hell it was.
On his own.
On his own. With Boobie Gibson. Come on. Really? Okay, he didn't win it all because San Antonio was much better. It's a generational thing. No matter what LeBron does, it'll never be enough for anyone. The scale is always moving for LeBron. LeBron doesn't win with that Cleveland. Jordan doesn't win with that Cleveland team. Possible.
Yeah.
LeBron played in the era that allowed him to custom build his team with free agency. Jordan was the GOAT. I'm just talking about who had a better career, not the GOAT. Jordan put up amazing offensive numbers in a defensive era. Jordan was an assassin. LeBron doesn't have that. Never will. By the way, okay, and I know this is going to come off as a LeBron apologist. There are people out there who criticize, rip LeBron for Friday night passing up the shot, giving it to Danny Green for the wide open three. I'm sorry. He was triple teamed.
I actually thought that was a great
Of course.
decision.
If he goes up there and the shot's blocked or he misses it, people go, oh, what a
Can't hit the
hog.
shot, yeah.
Well, yeah, can't hit. By the way, Michael Jordan did the very same thing twice. Kerr and Paxson.
Yes.
Okay? The difference was they made that shot. Danny Green is paid a lot of money to make those shots. He didn't. Anybody that criticizes LeBron for that is crazy.
I agree, because the one thing that I do appreciate about LeBron, and the one thing that I think Jordan gets underappreciated for, is setting up their teammates for success and getting them easy shots. I think LeBron does a great job, and people talk about his mind and his mental approach to the game. I've got to give respect to how he approaches a game. It's not about how many points I have, how many assists I have, it's not about numbers for him. It's setting up. If I have the shot and I need to take the shot, I'm going to take the shot. Or I'm going to find somebody that's got a better shot than me, and I'm going to set them up. I've always appreciated that in LeBron's game.
I just think that people seem to, for lack of a better expression, poo-poo 10 trips to the finals because he didn't win more. Getting to the finals 10 times
It's remarkable.
is incredible.
Yep.
Jordan got to the finals 6 times. He lost, sometimes when you win your conference finals, that's pretty damn good. Now, granted, we take pride on 2 of those 3 times where he lost in the conference finals was to the Detroit Pistons.
Yes.
Okay, so they were a really good team, obviously. Did LeBron have to face a team like that in the conference finals? I don't know. The Celtics were pretty good that one year that they beat them. LeBron, better career. Also has to deal with social media, which I think makes things so much harder. Need to manage that as well as playing at a top level. There's a lot of circumstances. How good, the whole bubble thing, by the way, should not be diminished. Doing what they did in that situation.
I have a hard time when I hear about how hard it is to play in the bubble or the sacrifice that these guys make. LeBron, how much did LeBron make just in regards to his salary? Right, $35 million. So, and he's staying in a hotel for 3 months. Oh, I'm sorry. That sounds like it's so hard.
It's not. Physically, it might not be hard, but I think mentally it's tough to not be with your family. Look, I was one of those who said, last week, there are harder jobs in life. People go in war and all that. Granted, but I think when you compare championships, I think doing what they did is tougher than
when you put it in that context.
A normal champion. That's what I'm referring to.
And everything else that went on in regards to social justice, the death of Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
I mean, this has been an unbelievably tough year for Laker fans.
Right. Phil Livonia says it's about John Jansen not being able to swallow his pride and admit who the better player is. Statistically, physically, mentally. I like Jordan more. Don't get me wrong, but I can admit LeBron is the better player, the better athlete. I think people are, taking away rebounding and the other stuff he does.
In half a mile, turn right
they were
onto
both
Piedmont
really
Street.
good defensive players. Jordan, career-wise, probably a better defensive player.
Yeah.
But when LeBron wanted to play defense, like last night,
But see, that's the thing is like, when does he choose to play?
Well, that's
defense?
part of
and that's part of today's NBA.
Well, that's part of the coaching too. You want to sacrifice your offense for defense. LeBron practiced player collusion. He would find a way to have other star players come play with him. He's not even top 5. He's a great agent. MJ is secretariat, plus LeBron is a jerk. All right, we try to put people in different eras. Okay, if Michael played in today's era, you don't think he would have done the same thing?
It's all about winning. Absolutely,
Yes.
he would have.
No doubt.
If that's the way the game was played, whether it's the financial side or on the court, of course he would take advantage of trying to get the best teammates possible.
Yes, no doubt about it. All right. Steve Eisenman will join us at 8:35. Heather has news next.
So I don't know if either of you have ever had to call 911, but I'm sure you both know that you call 911 when you have a major emergency, right? Well, I'm going to share some stories of people who called 911 with some interesting, very interesting emergencies. With my, finger quotes.
Air quotes, ladies and gentlemen,
Yes.
97.1 The Ticket.
97.1 The Ticket. Traffic.
From the WWJ AM 950 Traffic Center, brought to you by Mastercraft Heating and Cooling. Drivers are finding smooth sailing around Metro Detroit this morning. No accidents or tie-ups to talk about. But west of Ann Arbor, 94 eastbound after Calmback Road, a truck fired just one lane open there, multi-mile backup. For same-day service of your air conditioning or plumbing, call Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. 37 years in the business. A+ Better Business Bureau rating. Mastercraft Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. 800-924-2123. MastercraftHeating.com. This is Catherine Leslie with traffic.
You could win $2,000 with the 2 Grand Slam. Thursday at 7:20 with Stoney and Jansen.
24-month lease, 10,500 miles a year, no security deposit. Total due at signing Escape $25.99, Fusion $21.75. Pricing for returning lessees trading a 1995 or newer vehicle. AZ plan pricing for returning lessees, including Ford Select inventory rebates, plus tax, title, license, and dock with approved financing through Ford Credit. Ends 11/2/2020. It's the model year-end sales event at Pat Milliken Ford, and that means your customers have an exceptional opportunity to save. Isn't that right, Brian Godfrey?
Absolutely. New 2021 vehicles are on their way, and that means big savings on 2020 models like Fusion and Escape.
Right now, lease a new 2020 Ford Escape SE Milliken Express price from $199 a month, or a new 2020 Fusion SE Milliken Express price from just $149 a month.
Looking to purchase online? We offer that too. With our Milliken Express program, you can choose your Ford, value your trade, and get financing all from the comfort of home. We'll even deliver your vehicle right to your door.
Start your experience online at PatMillikenFord.com or visit the dealership on Telegraph Road.
Pat Milliken Ford, over 60 years of the experience you deserve.
Now's the time to get a great deal on select Kubota subcompact and compact tractors. Our reliable #1 selling tractors are designed for easy operation and feature all the performance-matched attachments needed to tackle any job. Right now, get 0 down at 0% APR for 84 months and save up to $1,700 plus no payments for 90 days. Now through October 31st. See us or go to KubotaUSA.com for full disclaimer.
Visit Weingart Supply Co. or GoKubota.com for a dealer near you.
Right now at Subway restaurants, try the $5.99 meal of the day. Every day it's a different 6-inch sub plus chips in a 20-ounce drink for just $5.99. Come in any day of the week for one of your favorites, like sweet onion chicken teriyaki on Monday or turkey breast on Wednesday. Made on your choice of bread with any veggies and sauces you want. Then add chips in a 20-ounce drink and you've got the $5.99 meal of the day. A great meal at a great price. Every day of the week, only at Subway. At participating restaurants, additional charge for extras plus applicable tax. No additional discounts or coupons may be applied.
As a veteran, I know firsthand freedom must be protected. COVID-19 has tried to take away our freedoms and change our way of life. And the only way we are going to regain those freedoms, to get our jobs and economy back, to gather together with friends and family